Hello and nice to meet you again. I'm Nigel from Synergy Sendirian Berhad, and today I will guide you through scenario planning. Before I go in depth on each element, allow me to explain a little bit on what is scenario planning. A general idea for scenario planning, it enables decision makers to identify ranges of potential outcomes and estimate impacts, evaluate responses, and manage both positive and negative possibilities. In our scenario planning, we look into the three main elements, namely general, industrial, and competitors. For the first session, I will go through general and industrial, while my colleague Maggie will guide you through competitors environment. Now, what is general environment? The general environment is composed of dimensions in the broader society that influence an industry and the firms within it. In this case, organizations' management do not control over it, but it has impact on our corporate strategy. We have identified 6 dimensions of general environment in terms of political, economic, demographic, physical, global, and finally, technological influence. In political decision, we have identified the risk of health and safety issue to acquire authority approvals because of wireless capability. As in this case, we are required to accept and follow the guidelines of laws and regulations. As you can see, we had no control on the health and security issues. However, we did our best to mitigate the issues such as proper risk management, improved supply chains, and etc. As you have already noticed, among these 6, we have also recognized technology influence as the major obstacles, which will have the biggest and highest impact to our business, if not addressed carefully. Moving on, I will take you through our strategy to our biggest obstacles, technology. Now, let us deep dive into technology dimension. In our analysis, technological challenge is the major obstacles is because solar and wireless technology is a novel technology and technology is in a fast cycle market, where our innovative technology may get surpassed quickly by other competitors. On top of that, technology market is traditionally faced with stiff competition. Now, before we look into our strategy for general environment, I would like to provide a sneak peek on the evolution of the charging mode. We started from cables to power banks, charging packs, and finally our future air charge. This is the evolution of the technology in which we want to outperform the market. We look into other use cases from other industry. In wireless charging segment of technology, uncertainty changes are part and parcel of the technology transitions. Thus, our company will adopt the behaviors and cope with the discomfort. As a result of the changes, we are unable to stop the competitors from coming in to the market. The best we can do is to think beyond in order to stay ahead of the competition. Maybe one day, we might venture into the satellite sector. Who knows, right? Now, there's a lot of uncertainties, changes, evolutions, competitions in technology, specifically wireless charging segment. Therefore, we are required to improvise, adapt, and overcome to keep our business sustainable. Because if we fail to adapt, to innovate, we could potentially end up like Nokia, a previous known mobile tech giant that have fallen to Samsung, Apple, and HTC because the failure to adapt and innovate in a fast-changing environment. Now, we are done with general environment, in which we have no control, where technology is our biggest obstacle. Let us move on and see what industrial and competitive environment could change the outcome, or at least mitigate the risk. Now, let's go into industrial environment. We look into the group of firms producing products that are close substitutes, right? So industry environment in comparison to the general environment has more direct effect on firms' strategic competitors. And above above average returns. Therefore, it is clear that organization management do have some control over it in certain circumstances. Okay. Industrial environment typically consists of 5 dimensions, namely power of suppliers, power of buyers, intensity of rivalry, availability of substitutes, and threats of new entrants. Let us look into each of the dimensions and see what opportunity lies within for us to gain the competitive edge. Firstly, will be high availability of substitutes for synergy. Wireless charging can be easily substituted with other charging capability, such as wired or power bank. Therefore, buyer's switching cost is relatively low. However, there is low direct substitute product in the market, as we are one of a kind technology. That's why we see ourselves as a product differentiation. In terms of power of buyer, Synergy's buyer is stronger, meaning our customer has the upper hand because of the high substitution of charging product, where our buyer could stop using wireless charging and opt back to wired charging. Therefore, low switching costs for them and high power of buyers. In this case, Synergy recognizes the red flags. Therefore, Synergy will focus on enforcing the competitive advantage, which is our value of sustainability and conveniences. On the contrary, Synergy's supplier is weak. So Synergy could say that because there is high concentration of supplier in the market, they are well equipped with manufacturing wireless charging capability and solar panel. Since there is high density of supplier, it also translates to low bargaining power of suppliers and low supplier switching costs for Synergy, which is a very good advantage that Synergy possesses. In this case, Synergy will enjoy the benefits of reduced cost of adoption and reduced cost of goods sold. Now, let us look at threats of new entrants. We think that it is relatively high because we are in the technology industry, which more than likely to be profitable for new firms from their own innovations. Therefore, it showcases a low barrier of entry for new startups and is highly competitive in the market. However, in the long run, the profitability will be decreased or in a way diluted. Finally, high intensity of rivalry. We think that there is no equal competitor as for now. However, more and more competitors have been emerging in this charging industry with different kinds of solutions. On top of that, technology has been evolving and new charging solutions has been emerging and may pose quite a threat for us. We think that this is an opportunity for us because competition in the market is the fuel to spark the industrial growth, as long as us from Synergy utilize our resources carefully to gain competitive advantage through innovations and focus on our sustainable energy usage, which is people and environmental friendly. Now, this is the end of technology environment. Thank you very much, and I will hand over to my beautiful colleague Maggie for competitive environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Nigel. Hi everyone, I'm Maggie, and I will guide you through the remaining section of competitors' environment. As compared to general and industrial, competitors' environment is the environment where the organization management have full control over it and able to utilize it to manage the impact of its corporate strategy. In Synergy, competitors' environment, it consists of 3 dimensions, namely technology, people, and organizational. Now, let us look into each of the dimensions. Firstly, technology dimension. Synergy involves the use of technology in our product. This is a very competitive field where there are a lot of substitutes of charging in the market. Besides that, the turnover rate of the technology is very high, which is less than 5 years due to continuous innovation and improvement. Hence, we require to invest a large amount of capital in R&D to compete in the market. Furthermore, stiff competition in the tech market, especially in the illegal copying, can lead to disaster if not addressed early. This is one of the examples about the legal copying where Apple paid Nokia 2 billion as part of a patent lawsuit settlement. So, how are we going to mitigate the challenges? Synergy will first patent the technology of air charge and at the same time collaborate with our players to list the technology. This is to ensure Synergy capture the maximized profitability. These are some of the examples of technology leasing or selling to competitors. Macy's, who are using TMHSBB backbone for its service, and iPhone is using electrical parts made by Samsung. Furthermore, technology is always evolving at a dynamic pace. Synergy must always innovate to stay relevant in this stiff market. As we speak, there is already a new breakthrough in the market that might change the battery landscape. The so-called ultra-fast wired charging, which go far beyond the standard charging capabilities. Synergies will need to leverage the green energy value by developing an improved solar cell or develop an efficient energy storage system. Now, moving on to organizational. We foresee that there will be challenges around expansion plans for Synergy in which Synergy needs to widen the market share to optimize the profitability. However, there will be a follow-up challenges for Synergy to penetrate countries with irregular sunlight patterns. Therefore, Synergy strategy here is to focus on high investment on R&D to produce efficient solar cells and efficient energy storage systems. Hence, it is important for Synergy to look for other possible solutions to ensure the win-win solution. At last, the final dimensions people in which we further segregate into 4 aspects. To build a successful business, Synergy will first focus on the internal aspects starting from company culture that enforce on competitive freedom, adaptability, agile, and openness. This is to allow all the people in Synergy to be encouraged, motivated, and perform. It is important to develop the competitive technology for Synergy to remain competitive in the stiff market. After that, Synergy will focus on different talents, not limited to local talents but talent from around the world to get insight and perspective from everyone. Since Synergy is looking for a broader range of talents, we also focus on recruitment. We pick the right people for the right job, matching the people with our company culture and at the same time building their own professionality. It is important to ensure the success of each personal workforce to ensure the company's success. Remember, passions and hunger to succeed create positive workforce ready to embrace any challenges. When we talk about people, Synergy will never forget about customer because we will be and must be customer centric. Keeping our customer within arm's reach, listening to their feedbacks, ideas, and pain points. Therefore, Synergy will focus on highly effective sales and marketing team to obtain the feedbacks from existing potential customers. Early identification customer needs will allow Synergy to tweak our offering to better suit their needs and wants. So, that's all from us. Thank you.